Hello friends, so in this video we will be discussing about filters. Okay, so these filters are nothing but also called as electronic filters, which will allow only a certain range of frequencies to pass through them, removing some other frequencies. Okay, so which are usually unwanted frequencies, mainly interference, noise are removed from the signal. Okay, so here the input may be various amplitudes, frequencies, or phases. Okay, so what this does is it will allow a certain range of frequencies to pass through them and eliminate the frequency components which are above that range. Okay, so such devices are used in each and every circuits. Okay, so the classification of this filter, it can be classified as both analog as well as digital filters. Again, it is classified as passive and active filters, and also audio and radio range of filtering. Okay, so analog filters are designed to process analog signals, while digital filters process analog signals using digital techniques. Hence, depending on the type of elements used in their construction, filters are again classified as active and passive filters. Okay, elements used in passive filters are resistors, capacitors, and inductors, whereas active filters on the other hand consist of transistors or op-amps in addition to resistors and capacitors. The type of element used that gives the operating frequency range of the filter. Taking an example, RC filters are commonly used for audio or a low frequency operations, whereas LC or a crystal filters are used at a RF or a high frequencies. Okay, hence because of their high Q value, the crystal provides more stable operation at a higher frequencies, whereas in audio frequencies inductors are often not used because they are very large, costly, and may dissipate more power. Okay, hence inductor also emits magnetic fields. Hence, we will see some of the following advantages of active filters over a passive filters. The first one is gain and frequency adjustment flexibility. Since the op-amp is capable of providing a gain, the input signal is not attenuated as it is in passive filter. Okay, in addition, the active filter is easier to tune or adjust. Okay, so no loading problem because of the high input resistance and low output resistance of the op-amp. The active filters does not cause loading of the source or a load. Third one is cost. Typically, active filters are more economical than those of passive filters. This is because of the variety of cheaper op-amps and absence of inductors. These active filters are mostly used in the field of communication and signal processing. They are in one form or another in almost all the electronic systems: radio, television, telephone, radar, space satellites, as well as biomedical equipments. But few systems that employ active filters. The most commonly used filters are low pass filter, high pass filter, band pass filter, band reject filter, and all pass filter. Okay, each of these filter uses an op-amp as the active element, and a resistors and also capacitors as a passive elements. Okay, usually the IC 741 works very satisfactorily, but because of high speed op amps we use LM318 or a ICL 8017, which improves the filter performance through their increased slew rates and higher unity gain bandwidth. Here the figure shows frequency response characteristics of these 5 types of filters. The ideal response is shown by dashed curves, while the solid lines indicate the practical filter response. A low pass filter has a constant gain from 0 Hz to a high cutoff frequency of FH. Therefore, the bandwidth is also FH. At FH, the gain is reduced by 3 dB line. After that, as F is greater than FH, it decreases with the increase in the input frequency. The frequencies between 0 Hz and FH are known as passband frequencies, whereas the range of frequencies, those beyond FH that are attenuated, includes the stop band frequencies. Now we will see these filters one by one. Okay, here is a low pass filter. This shows the frequency response of a low pass filter. As indicated by the dashed lines, an ideal filter has zero loss in its pass band and infinite loss in its stop band. But the ideal filter response is not practical because linear networks cannot produce discontinuities. However, it is possible to do or to obtain a practical response that approximates the ideal response by using special design techniques as well as a precision component values and high speed op amps. Butterworth, Chebyshev and Causer filters are some of the most commonly used practical filters that approximates the ideal response. Okay, so the key characteristics of the Butterworth filter is that it has a flat pass band as well as stop band. For this reason, it is sometimes called as flat filter, whereas the Chebyshev filter has a ripple pass band and a flat stop band, while the Causer filter has a ripple pass band and a ripple stop band. Generally, the Causer filter gives the best stop band response among all these three. Because of their simplicity of design, the low pass and high pass Butterworth filters are very much popular and we can see them here. Okay, so here similarly it shows a high pass filter. Okay, so the high pass filter with a stop band of 0, which lies between, that is F lies between 0 and F of L, and a pass band F is greater than FL. Okay, FL is the low cutoff frequency and F is the operating frequency. A band pass filter has a pass band between two cutoff frequencies FH and FL, where FH is greater than FL, and two stop bands. F lies between 0 to FL and F must be greater than FH. Okay, so the bandwidth of the band pass filter therefore is equals to FH minus FL, whereas the band reject filter performs exactly opposite to that of band pass. That is, it has a band stop between two cutoff frequencies FH and FL and two pass bands, that is F lies between 0 to FL and F is greater than FH. The band reject is also called as band stop or a band elimination filter. The frequency response of this can be seen later. Okay, here FC is called as center frequency since it is approximately at the center of the pass band or a stop band. So here is a band pass filter we have discussed, and this is the band reject or a band elimination or a band stop filter. Okay, so here you can see the phase shift between the input and output voltages of all pass filter. This filter passes all frequencies equally well. That is, output and input voltages are equal in amplitude for all the frequencies with a phase shift between two functions of frequencies. The highest frequency up to which the input and the output amplitudes remain equal is dependent on the unity gain bandwidth of the op-amp. At this frequency, however, the phase shift between the input and output is maximum. Okay, so here as we have seen, the actual response curves of these filters in the stop band either decreases or increases or both with increase in frequencies. The rate at which the gain of the filter changes in the stop band is determined by the order of the filter. For example, for the first order low pass filter, the gain rolls off at the rate of 20 dB per decade in the stop band, that is for F is greater than Fh. On the other hand, for the second order low pass filter, the roll off rate is 40 dB per decade and so on. By contrast, for the first order high pass filter, and the gain decreases at the rate of 20 dB per decade in the stop band until and unless it is equals to, that is F is equal to FL. The increase is 40 dB per decade for the second order high pass filter, and this